Good afternoon to everybody. I would like to present our common theme of research, information technology for foreign languages, remote learning with adaptation to the user-based and machine learning. Since the goal of the work is to improve the process of remote learning in foreign languages, it was chosen to create an application for translation based on the choice of the native language and the language being studied. Accordingly, it becomes necessary to use artificial neural network to solve classification tasks. It determines the purpose of the work. Translation application was developed, which accurately translates both ordinary language and physiological units, slang expression, etc. The model is used at the basis of training, so was analysis of the main indicators, and the model was pre-trained on book covers, a data set consisting of 11,000 more than unpublished books. The masking procedure details for each sentence are as follows. You can see it in this slide. The model was trained on for cloud in part configuration, and an optimizer is used with learning rate. In the trained network, the number of layers and yours was increased. The purpose of the study is to improve the process of remote learning foreign languages with adaptation to the user's language based on machine learning by developing and implementing an application that will be used to classify operations using neural networks. So to achieve this, it's necessary to analyze, describe the necessary tools for creating classification, conduct an analysis of the literature, build a classification model, analyze materials, build a software architecture, develop software, test it, and analyze work results. The methodological basis of the research is general scientific and special methods, which made it possible to study the subject and the object of research. The practical significance of the obtained result is that the use of the developed software will allow to improve translation from any selected pairs of languages, which will serve as a basis for remote training of users. Here we can see the following technology stack. We see that JavaScript was used in the work especially, and the following main dependencies. Current work has combined user profiling and responsive user interface to help satisfy users. User profiling can be approached in one of three ways: use of stereotypes, use of service questionnaires, and use of a learned model. The first two approaches rely on traditional marketing techniques using known information, and the third is of our interest. Involves creating a system that initially doesn't know its users, but develops a profile based on interactions. Profile can be created individually for each user or collectively gathered from all users' data to form an overall profile of interests and behaviors. After training network, it becomes possible to use the selected language based on translation made during initialization of our application. Training the network is a process in which the parameters of neural network are adjusted by simulating the environment in which neural network is embedded. So here there is a learning process of a neural network of its training. Class diagram of application, and in general, there are four main methods of teaching English: grammar translation, direct methods, audio lingualism, communicative language teaching, which has special peculiarities. Yes, we need to create data and then some to this server, loading data to the prism, loading data to the prism of the application. So in order to it, Prisma is used to place data obtained in the process of interaction with the user. Prisma schema is intuitive and allows you to declare database tables. And here there are following parts of so-called scheme Prisma. For our developed application, we use grammar translation. So as I have said previously, there are four main methods of teaching, and among them, we decided to use grammar translation and direct method used by one user, and also to increase the functionality of the application. Use phraseological units, dialect words, and slang elements for it that will improve understanding and learning of the chosen language. Here there is Prisma settings, loading data to the Prisma. Here's how look profile. When the user interacts with the application, data is sent to the Prism. Post data transfer methods in programming is one of many request methods. Support is known by the HTTP protocol used on the World Wide Web, so it is used in our work. So then connection of necessary libraries and modules must be done. Here we see that assets are extracted from an file and provided to the user, and the main functions of the developed application is translation. Yes, so for the user, it's possible to configure selected both languages for training. For example, you can use for English Ukrainian, yes, after which the user will receive a correct translation. And general information is here, and some module of our work, a module character is proposed here. How does it look like? So since the application is deployed locally, first it's necessary to unpack its styles. So with the following command, when we see all the necessary modules, I assemble necessary to run the application locally, its Vasyl platform, and after launching, we can get to the application itself. So here there is a description of our profile, user profile, and what is done in the current section. So since the goal of the work is to improve the process of remote learning for languages, it was chosen to create an application for translation based on the choice of the native language. As I have said previously, and once more I repeat it, so it was pre-trained on Bulgaria's dataset. Here there are some results. Our test results since ago, so trained network, and in the result we can see the trained network is better. Firstly, because it allows to improve its performance on test data. Second reason is that training the network allowed to optimize parameters and structure to enable more efficient pattern recognition. And the third reason is that training the network allowed us to choose more efficient activation function. Here there is comparison of trained and untrained network. So conclusions, information system for remote learning for a language with adaptation to the user based on machine learning has been created. Systematic analysis of the research object has been performed, namely the main provisions for the logic. The architecture advantages and disadvantages have been considered. The model of the process of forming user parameters. The triggers have been analyzed. Main languages, software tools used for development have been defined. The JavaScript has been chosen as the main language for development, and the main software work such as VS Code or Vasyl have been analyzed. Information of the user profile and the choice of architecture have been reviewed. Practical implementation of the design software have been carried out. The initialization process of data that neural network training has been described. Of course, the work will be performed in the future, will be more discussed in research, and it will be a key issue of our future investigation. So thank you for attention, and waiting for questions.